Thank you so much for attending my presentation about why Hisuian-Lilligant is a degenerate gambler, and first let's talk about its traits. This Pokemon has really unassuming stats. 105 attack and speed are usable, but everything else is flat out awful. It just doesn't get much done on defense. Grass Fighting is a fine type though, especially for dealing damage as Fighting handles the annoying Steel type. Even so, it's not perfect. Bugs and birds take half damage from all of your stab options. However, in Regulation H, Hisuian-Lilligant receives a fair amount of play on some of the most deadly teams around. Why? Every bit of success that Lilligant has ever had comes from its ability Chlorophyll. This is pretty simple, doubling its speed when in the sun, but happens to enable a ton of terrifying options. With it active, nothing can reliably outrun it without Tailwind, and even if you do get the field condition up, Lilligant is still probably quicker. While obviously amazing, there's one place where it shines: Sleep Powder support. Sleep Powder is an extremely powerful but somewhat unreliable option. 75% accuracy really sucks, but with the upside of putting the opponent to sleep before they can even move, it's still amazing. This allows Lilligant to move first and completely neuter an opposing threat, at least 3/4 of the time. Looking at this option, it's clear how wild the risk-reward is. 75% of the time, you inflict arguably the best status condition in the game on your opponent and completely destroy them for what might be the rest of the battle. 25% of the time, though, you miss and leave yourself wide open where Lilligant will likely just faint. Using this in a large tournament might seem insane for this reason. You spent a bunch of money and traveled here, betting it all on this roll of the dice is not great. However, when it works, you'd be hard-pressed to find a more oppressive team, which is a huge draw. And when a bunch of people enter a tournament with these odds, one of them is bound to pop off. Of course, Lilligant isn't just a sleep powder bot. If it was, then I'd be making a video about that instead. No, Lilligant's other tools can be just as scary. First, for attacking moves, it leverages the sun again with Solar Blade. This is a 120 base power behemoth, but is balanced by being a 2-turn move. Well, that is unless you're in the sun. Then it's a no drawback grass type close combat. Speaking of, close combat is also great, hitting common safety goggles Pokemon such as Incineroar hard. But the real star of the show is after you. As I mentioned earlier, Lilligant's most common partner is Torkoal setting the sun on switch-in. However, the turtle is really slow and normally has to rely on Trick Room. Lilligant can get around this. After you is a rarely seen but powerful move, targeting your ally and allowing them to move directly after you regardless of their speed stat. Torkoal loves this. Its choice specs eruptions are monstrous and only really balanced by how slow it is, but Lilligant just doesn't care. As you can imagine, Lilligant and Torkoal become a nightmare to play against. With two of the most threatening moves ever at their immediate disposal, finding safe lines isn't easy. Want a grass type to handle Spore? Eruption melts them. Tailwind to outspeed? If it's not priority, then it isn't happening. Oh, and did I mention that they often run on hard Trick Room teams? A team style that is countered by very specific combinations of Pokemon? If you lead something wrong, the punishment can just be the entire game. For example, Talonflame seems nice into Lilycole, but then Indeedee Hatterene shreds it to pieces. These two keep you on your toes and force some of the scariest 50-50 mind games in VGC history. Even with all of this, it's not surprising that many players are wary to run them. Being so reliant on that 75% chance isn't for the faint of heart, and losing a tournament to it feels terrible, but some players have made it work. Modern incarnations of Lilycole haven't won a major recently, but it has gotten close, with 2 top 4 finishes at Australia Regionals from Trent Sayer and Connor Betts. The two teams differ, with Connor in particular running the ultra-strong Regidrago, but both utilize the Trick Room core well. Indeedee Female, Ursaluna, and an Expanding Force user are just so strong. On the other hand, Ryan Almeida ran it on a faster team. While there was still some Trick Room with Farigiraf, Fluttermane, Raging Bolt, and Walking Wake are capable of using photosynthesis and dishing massive damage without twisting the dimensions. Even regular Lilligant got in on the fun. In Regulation C, before the Hisuian form was even out, it won a damn regional off the back of Abdullah Mohiuddin in Vancouver and got other placements too. With Regulation H coming back, Lilycole is gearing up for another strong performance. Is it going to be at the forefront of the metagame? Definitely not. Too many players are going to be scared off by its inherently unreliable nature, but I'll be damned if it isn't going to be the most terrifying team in the format. In conclusion, Hisuian-Lilligant is able to overcome its terrible stats by gambling. Sleep Powder is a serious threat, and when coupled with its place on Trick Room teams and after you, it's easy to see why. Get ready to play more mind games and roll some more dice once Regulation H events come back. Thank you so much for watching.